Yep, go ahead and jump right in. Hey, this is Ben with Studio on the Lake. This is number 2 and the finish of the Curlew sandpiper. I like the way it came out. It came out pretty well. I am going to do just a little bit more painting, which you won't get to see. I'll do a little more antiquing underneath and blend some of the yellow down there on the breast back in, and a couple more highlights around the bill. Make him look a little bit more realistic. I'll probably put a couple more coats of gloss on the base there and make it a little bit shiny. So here's where we left it in the last video. We're burning feathers, and this went through on the wing feathers there and the tail. You didn't get tortured by that, but probably 4 passes in between, and I didn't do any stonework on the wings there or on the tail, but I will do on the side. So now we're down to the point where we're getting ready to put the tail in. You notice I hadn't carved the tail down, and here I'm just pulling a reference line of where the 2 sections of the tail feather end up in there. So hopefully through the 2 videos, and then if you go back and watch the baby bird video, you're kind of getting an idea how these birds and decoys are at least how I lay them out. A lot of people will do a full pattern on these and plan every little portion out. If you're doing a competition piece, that certainly it's going to get judged. That certainly is worthwhile to do. If you're just doing them to make an interesting piece that someone might be interested in putting in their living room someday, I don't think you need to go through all that work, because this I could actually have put probably 60 or 70 hours in this if it were a competition piece. And estimating on it, I probably have 10 hours in this bird, start to finish, to include the painting. And I really wasn't thinking too hard about it. Speaking of, this bird is going to be in the Etsy shop probably later today. And I'm going to go ahead and put that baby bird video in there. So if those interest you, and all the stuff goes to this channel. This is not how I make my living. This stuff goes right back into purchasing birds and that sort of thing. And with any luck, if you like them and you like the way it went, you'll have something that you can show folks if you decide to purchase one of these 2, and you can show them the video on how this thing was made. The next couple pieces are going to be I've got a couple hummingbird commission pieces, so I think I'm going to go back and revisit the hummingbirds. It's kind of logical in the sequence here. And then from there, I think we're going to go to a songbird. And if you want to let me know down in the comments what you want to see. Obviously, a lot of folks like the black-capped chickadee. I could do a pretty nice black-capped chickadee with just the burning and a little bit of highlight on it. Or I can branch off and do anything in the line. Cardinal, blue jay, you name it. And then I think after that we're going to go to a crow or a raven. I like to do those, and we'll see where it goes from there. The birds, I plan on making them progressively bigger, with the exception of this hummingbird. And I've got a commission for this piece, so I'm going to go ahead and put a couple hummingbirds out. I already did a hummingbird video, but that was quite a while ago, and the style has developed a little bit since then, and I'll go ahead and put that out just as these videos are, as a tutorial. So here we're shaping the tail. When I look at the reference pattern on there, the tail feathers are just a little bit short of the bottom of the fail, or not tail feathers, bad mistake. The wing tips are just a little bit short of the tail. The tail sticks out maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch over that. So I've got a groove in there. You saw that groove, and I went over to the scroll saw in this case and cut it. And I didn't cut it real clean all the way through, but I am working just this one, just like the other birds. I have a romance side, that romance side being head facing left, left side of the body, and wing and tail feathers facing out. That's not to say that you couldn't turn this thing around in your designer scheme, and the back side does just as well as the front, but if you really start looking at it, the detail is not quite as nice. So I took the pencil and I laid out the two feather groupings on that. There's two sections to the tip of the wing that are coming out, and that's what you're getting there is the first grouping, and then the second grouping. Left side goes over the right side. And I'm trying to stay true to form and true to shape. You'll notice that they're laying on, these feathers are laying on top of each other. You could do this step with a knife if you wanted to outline them. I'm just using these kinds of stop cuts, and secondarily it kind of helps me keep my pencil marks in there where they're at. Now this right wing that I'm working on is going to end up going underneath the left one, and I thought you might be able to see the tip, but it turned out that there really wasn't room for that, so you don't get the tip. I thought the tip was going to be right there, and that turns out to not be the case. For those of you that are really taking a hard look at this, that line I just drew in there is going to get cut off. I put that in there because that's a little bit proud. So now I'm coming back with the ruby bit. I'm feathering up in from the top of the wing coverlet there, and now I'm going to outline those wingtip feathers. And I'm paying particular attention to what part is deep and what part is not. And then these feathers are going to get rounded over when I'm done messing around here. If you get a chance, look down in the description and check out a lot of the folks that are down below. Those are the people that I follow and whatnot. And poor Just Carved Rob, I made fun of him last time because he cut his finger again. Rob seems to always get hurt, but I feel bad about that, and I apologize for that, Rob. I'll quit picking on you, man. For what I foresee happening is karma coming in, and next couple weeks I'll be working on something, or a couple months, and I'll end up with stitches and that sort of thing, unless I'm smart, and I should be, and just disappear for a month or two while I heal up. But karma's a bitch, and sometimes it comes back to get you. So I'll quit picking on you, man. Heal up and keep carving. And hey, I told you in the last one, I'm going to send you a couple blanks and Jordy a couple blanks. I don't know when that's going to happen. Kind of when I get around, or get a chance to get back out to the studio and do that. Today I got to go blow some snow off of the circular driveway out here and dig us out. If you don't dig out the snow here in northern Wisconsin, when it falls, you get 4 or 6 inches. You don't cut that out. It doesn't go away until April or May, and it just builds on it. And pretty quick, you'll get a 4 or 5 foot base out in front, and that doesn't work very well as a driveway. I know that this piece is long-winded, and I tried to cut down a little bit of this stuff in here because you don't need to see me carving the legs. They're pretty straightforward. You've got a pretty good idea now how I go about putting in the feathers and how I burn the feathers. And this, I'm just going to try to hit the highlights on this guy. And I didn't take a look at how long he is. I suspect 20-30 minutes long in the second one. But it is a tutorial series. And if you do like these, by all means, leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed, and it makes sense to you, feel free to subscribe, and that helps support the channel. So there's the tail and the wing tips cut in, and they're just rough right now. You can see that I've zoomed ahead a little bit, came back and burned those in again. this is me with a little, I think this is I gotta wait till I see it. Oh yeah, it's a little taper diamond bird, and I'm shaping each of those feathers, getting the flow down right, because I'm prepping to burn these in, and I'm just kind of feathering one feather into the one below it and making it smooth. If you're doing a competition piece and you're going to paint each of these little individual barbs, you can spend a lot of time on this. And in the old days, before they had power carvers, you'd see some of the old timers that were doing this. They would grab a piece of sandpaper or a file and really work these pieces down. You can certainly do that. The way I do these is fairly typical of bird carvers, and if you've got a couple of professional bird carvers out there watching this and saying, what the heck is that guy doing, feel free to leave a comment, help the folks out if you do something a little bit differently, or I'm doing something really weird. Primarily, this is what I've developed as a technique over the years, and not subject to change probably anytime soon. But I'm certainly open to new ideas on how to do these things. So we talked a lot about, when we were doing the wing, that I wasn't working on the bottom feathers underneath the wing there. I kind of left those alone. I didn't burn them a whole lot, and I left a spot in there. So we're going to fix that up in just a second here. All right, so I'm laying those, these are the flow patterns, and I'm just going to use a stone on the bottom of this with maybe a little light burning pass over some of it. And you'll see on the finished bird that the stoning does the exact same thing that the burning does, only not in as fine a detail. So that bottom side there, I told you those feathers were real wispy, not truly a feather, more like a down or something. And they came up into those, the bottom of those wing feathers where that wing pocket sits in there. So that's what I'm putting in there now. And per my usual, a lot of this is 2 times. I either go normal speed or 2 times. And on occasion, I will slow down, but I don't think I did any slowing down in this one. So I got those detailed up over the wing there. I'm going to come back and burn those in a little bit. But now you notice those flow lines that I put on the breast there. Just like I would burn with that stone, I'm coming in and doing little short strokes and varying the direction and the angle. And I'm getting feathers out of that. And I'm working from the top to the bottom. So each one will run down into the next one. And there's a couple of really good shots of that coming up.